Good evening and welcome to an early edition of my end of the week recap here for Apple. As you can see, in the last 2 weeks, no new trades here in Apple. So on to the trade plan, try and keep this quick and simple. Monday from my weekend video, I was looking for a breakout over this 204.5 level. Worked out perfectly, but Citigroup, which is one of my favorite stocks to trade, reported earnings and took some trades in it, made some good money, and just missed this breakout. Didn't take the retest, and as you can see, it's just kind of chopped around. Every time it's broken above there has had a significant pop. So Apple's just doing its thing, but overall, I want to move over here to the weekly time frame. Apple has really not done a whole lot. I mean, today or this week has only moved just over $3 on the week, which is for Apple is very, very low, very compressed price action for the week, and not a whole lot to do. Although I will say, if you want to look at this as a potential flag or a pullback or consolidation in the last 2 weeks, has broken above it, it's holding above it, which is very promising for that move up to 208.210. And I do want to look at getting into some 205 calls here for next week's expiration. I don't want to get into post-earnings priced options because they are very expensive right now. So if this does come down here, I'm actually going to go ahead and pull up 26, these 205 calls right here, and if they do trigger me in, or if it does set up and come down here while I'm recording this, I'll take this trade. But for now, these are the levels I'm looking at taking a trade at: the 8 EMA, the 21 EMA, which most likely would be next week, and I won't be in too much of a hurry to hold that until earnings. This would be most likely a scalp. And down here, the 50 and 200 SMAs. Now, interestingly, I want to point out the 50 SMA has now started a slight uptrend. As you can see, it's put in a couple of higher points in the last couple of days this week. Algorithmically, that should at least imply that there are more robots buying than there were previously. Does that guarantee we're going to run up higher? No, not necessarily. It's just another algorithmic piece of evidence to go ahead and look at when making my analysis on these trades. Overall, if I go here to the daily time frame, I don't want to lose this option chart. The two pieces of information that are holding me back from being 100% bullish on Apple, even though price is above the 8, above the 21, above the 50, and above the 200, two pieces of information are we're putting in what's potentially a third lower high, and the 200 SMA is still sloping down. So overall, there's those two pieces of information that are a little bit holding me back from chasing too much. So in the grand scheme of things, though, we have put in a significantly higher low from the December sell-off up to here around 170. If this price action does come up here and break above this 215, what was this, 215.31, that puts in play a new higher high, at least in relation to the sell-off, and puts 230, 235, 240 area in play to push Apple back up over $1 trillion market cap. So a couple of levels, couple of thoughts to contemplate over the weekend. These are the levels I'm looking at taking a trade in, and we'll see what happens going into the close today. Maybe I take a trade, maybe not. But either way, enjoy your weekend and good luck next week.